What's up YouTube, it's your boy Nash here. Welcome back to the channel. Now before we get into today's video, into this week's episode of WWE's Biggest Issue, guys, we are 6 subs away from 200. I know we can do it. The summer is almost over. I know we can do it, guys. 200 subs before the summer comes to a close, and the moment we do get to 200 subs, I will open up this Korean Strike of Neos booster box in its entirety on the channel, on the hopes of to potentially pull this guy, Elemental Hero Air Neos, the so-called forbidden Yu-Gi-Oh card. Is it really forbidden? I'll let you guys be the judge of that. Now, if this channel gets to 500 subs, I will open up this Korean LOB booster box in its entirety on the channel that I got from my partners over at Collector Store, so be sure to check them out. Link and address will be in the description below. By checking them out, not only does it support them, it also supports the channel, and I would greatly appreciate it. On the hopes to potentially pull a Blue Eyes White Dragon, a Dark Magician, a Red Eyes Black Dragon, a piece of Exodia, Pot of Greed, Monster Reborn, the possibilities are out there. However, if this channel gets to 1,000 subs, I will open up this first edition Toon Chaos box in its entirety on the channel that I also got from my partners at Collector Store, on the hopes to potentially pull my second ever Collector's Rare. Because if you guys missed out on my Genesis Impact box opening from a few months ago, I pulled this. A Collector's Rare Beat Cup from the Underworld. It is absolutely gorgeous. I know the camera doesn't do it justice, but this thing looks gorgeous. And judging by how it looks, it has the potential to become a PSA 10. So hopefully once I make the time to get my cards graded, it does become a PSA 10. So if you guys want to see all these boxes get opened, maybe you guys want more episodes of WWE's Biggest Issue, maybe you guys want more episodes of Yu-Gi-Oh's Biggest Issue, deck profiles, card discussions, WWE topic videos, or maybe, just maybe, you guys want some premium live event predictions and results. Well, if you guys want all of that and more, my channel is the place to be. So if you guys are new to the channel, and I know that a lot of you guys are, make sure you guys subscribe to the channel, turn on the notification bell, follow me on all of my social media. My ads will be in the description below, as will the info to my fan mail. It will also be in the description as well. And I want you guys to post in the comments below answering the question of the day, which is this. What are you guys' thoughts on Jimmy Uso attacking Jey Uso at SummerSlam? Let me know down in the comments below. And let's get straight into this week's episode of WWE's Biggest Issue, because with SummerSlam now in the record books, and with Payback, and with WWE Payback now on the horizon, there are so many questions that have been left unanswered, including the big question of, including one of the biggest questions being who's next for Seth freaking Rollins and the World Heavyweight title? Who will step? Another question is, who will step up to Rhea Ripley and the Women's World title? Who will step up to Rey Mysterio and the United States title now that Austin Theory is no longer champion? What? All these questions have still been left unanswered, but there's another question that has also been left unanswered, which is the question of who, or rather, what matches could potentially be on the card for Payback? Well, for this week's episode of WWE's Biggest Issue, I'm going to be talking about the 5 matches that must be on the card for Payback, with a singular honorable mention that probably won't happen. And that honorable mention is the battle of the Usos, Jey versus Jimmy. Obviously, we know this match is not going to take place at Payback for a multitude of reasons. For one, as you guys saw on SmackDown this past Friday, Jimmy Uso told Jay, "Hey, I did what I did because I love you. I wanted to protect you because I didn't want to lose you." Now do we believe it? At this point, it's hard. It's still hard to say. It's hard to say whether or not that us as fans that we believe it. But when you really think about it, when you really think about it, this wouldn't be the first time that Jimmy kind of cost Jay the Universal title, because if you guys remember Clash of Champions, Jimmy Uso threw in the towel for Jay when Jay was getting his ass handed to him against Roman Reigns. The second time was obviously inside Hell in a Cell. Roman Reigns had to use Jimmy Uso to get Jay to utter the words "I quit," and that was how he became the right-hand man, main event Jey Uso, the man we see now. What I find even more unique as well is that this team, the Usos, they've been in WWE since day one. They've been together since day one. They have won 8 tag team titles in WWE, and many people and a lot of the fans are still believing that they can still become tag team champions one more time, but now it ain't gonna happen. Another thing as well is that Jay quit WWE, and if you look on WWE.com's superstar page, if you go to the alumni section, it'll show that Jey Uso has been moved to that point. Is this truly a part of the Bloodline story? Maybe. It could very well be, but we don't know. So odds are we might not even see this match take place until WrestleMania, which is gonna be which is 8 months away. We're 8 months away from WrestleMania 40 in Philly. And we might see that match take place there, or we could see it take place at the Royal Rumble, which could be a possibility if Jimmy Uso were to compete in the men's Royal Rumble match and Jay returns. That's what will set up the match for WrestleMania. So it's possible, but only time will tell. Now moving on into the 5 matches that need to happen at Payback, and the first one is probably going to be the most obvious, which it might get announced tonight on Raw, but The Miz versus LA Knight. What I find interesting is that this is all because of a photo shoot that took place last week on Raw. Literally last week on Raw, and The Miz got super jealous, and very pissed off. He got very pissed off, and if you guys are wondering what I was doing, I actually grabbed this Battle of Chaos, this empty Battle of Chaos booster box, and I was looking at these. I was actually looking at these because I actually picked up quite a few packs of. I actually picked up 3 Power of the Elements packs, 2 Shiny Victories, haven't opened up this in a long time, 3 Legacy of the Valiant, and of course 3 Abyss Rising, because I'm going to be doing a random pack opening at some point in the future. I might do it at the end of the year. So if you guys want to see these packs get opened and more, subscribe, you guys, because it's going to be a nutty video. But let me put this back, because there. At least now I won't get distracted. I can't reach it. Anyway, again, it was all because of some photo shoot that took place last week, and Miz kind of felt like he was being disrespected, and LA Knight was being disrespected as well. So could this match take place at Payback? Absolutely. I think with the fact that LA Knight eliminated The Miz in that Battle Royal at SummerSlam, I can definitely see this rivalry getting to a point where the last match, the rubber match, would be the winner will receive a title opportunity of his choosing at I'll say Crown Jewel, because there's been a lot of rumors that even though we're gonna be getting a WWE Superstar Spectacle in later on next month in India, Crown Jewel will still be taking place in the middle, right around the beginning of November. So it's possible, but only time will tell. But this match definitely needs to take place. The other match is Rhea Ripley versus Raquel Rodriguez for the Women's World Title. Obviously, with Liv completely out of the picture, Raquel is slowly making her way to making a full recovery. And so once she's at 100%, which I'm sure she'll be at 100% by the time we get to Payback, I know this match will take place. If it takes place on Raw, it's gonna feel just excuse me. It'll feel like a random squash match or something, if you will. So I think honestly, this match definitely needs to take place at Payback. Sorry guys, my camera moved. Think of all the times that Raquel and Rhea had been in the ring with one another, not just on the main roster, but back in NXT. Think about that. Think about that. All the times that they have been in the ring, from their time in the main roster, their time in NXT, they have tore the house down every single time. This will be no different because this is a much more different version of Rhea Ripley than we have been accustomed to prior to her joining the Judgment Day last year at Backlash. And then of course too, this is a much more different version of Raquel Rodriguez to the woman that that we were used to when she was teaming up with Dakota Kai in NXT. So Payback definitely needs to happen. Now we know that as far as this next one, we know that both Becky Lynch and Trish Stratus are going to be facing off one-on-one tonight on Raw, with Zoe Stark banned from ringside. That's not going to stop Zoe from getting involved in the match. It won't stop her. So this match definitely needs to take place. Trish Stratus and Zoe Stark versus Becky Lynch and Lita. Think about that, because if you guys recall, excuse me, if you guys recall, what was it, a couple of months ago, Lita was blindsided by an unknown assailant, if you will, and we found out that she was not medically cleared, and her and Lynch were supposed to defend the women's tag team titles against Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez, but she wasn't cleared. So Becky called up Trish and said, "Hey, I need you." They lost the titles. That was where the rivalry started. Trish Stratus attacked Becky Lynch, and the rest is pretty much history from there. Obviously, Night of Champions, Zoe Stark got involved, which leads us to tonight. Again, obviously Zoe Stark is definitely going to get involved in the match tonight on Raw. And if that's the case, Becky Lynch is gonna want Lita in her corner. So by that logic, if the one-on-one match ends in a disqualification, then obviously WWE official Adam Pearce will will make the match for Payback, which will be Trish Stratus and Zoe Stark versus Becky Lynch and Lita. Which, funny enough, Becky Lynch, everyone knows that Becky Lynch has made her fair share of enemies over the last few years since she started becoming the man, you know. So she's made quite a few enemies over the last few years, including Lita. But Lita is like one of the only women in WWE that she would consider a friend, and that right there is a rare sight to see for someone the caliber of Becky Lynch. So again, this match definitely it should happen, but it comes down to how the match tonight on Raw between Trish and Becky come to pass. How it comes to pass is, again, it depends on what happens tonight on Raw. But next up, after what happened last week on Raw, it definitely needs to happen. Seth freaking Rollins, Shinsuke Nakamura for the World Heavyweight title. Obviously, earlier in the show last week, Shinsuke defeated Bronson Reed in a hellacious matchup, and there was supposed to have been a six-man tag main event, which was supposed to have been the Judgment Day against Rollins, Cody Rhodes, and Sami Zayn, who is one half of the Undisputed Tag Team Champions. But JD McDonough decided to attack Sami Zayn backstage, and so Shinsuke was like, I've had my problems with Judgment Day before, let's make it happen. Cody, Seth, and Shinsuke won the match thanks to the help of Sami Zayn. Kinshasa to the face by Seth Rollins, which leads to basically this rivalry. Obviously, Shinsuke's gonna explain his actions tonight on Raw from the rumors that I've been hearing. I don't know if it's out of jealousy that he's not as popular as Seth, or if it's because of the fact that he hasn't been getting the push that he's been wanting for the last several years, ever since 2018, ever since WrestleMania 34 in New Orleans. I'm not sure, but obviously Rollins is definitely, he's not gonna take that Kinshasa lightly. He will take that personally, and that would obviously lead to a match at Payback. But of course, Finn Balor will probably be lurking because he's obsessed with Seth friggin' Rollins. And then of course you got Damian Priest and the men's Money in the Bank briefcase. So a lot of enemies for Seth freaking Rollins. But speaking of enemies, the last match, the number one match that definitely should take place, is the SummerSlam rematch for the WWE Women's title with the addition of Io Sky. Io, Asuka, Charlotte Flair, Bianca Belair. Think about that. An all-star match. An all-star match. All four of these women have been championed in NXT. They've been champion on the main roster. Bianca, Charlotte, and Asuka all have won the Royal Rumble. Asuka and Io have both had won Money in the Bank. Both cashed in to become champion. I mean, come on. If that right there isn't a match worthy of being on the Payback card, I don't know what is. I don't know what is worthy, because right now Damage Control is arguably one of the most dangerous female factions we now have not just on SmackDown, but just in all of WWE, because with Io Sky as the women's champion, this means that this means that Io Sky is going to rely a lot on Damage Control to defeat her opponents and end up retaining the title. But think about this. The last time she was a women's champion in WWE, it was all the way back in NXT at NXT Great American Bash, when Takeover in Your House was the premium live event, and yeah, it was a hell of a match, a hell of a triple threat between Charlotte Flair, Io Sky, and of course Rhea Ripley, after Charlotte Flair had won the NXT Women's title from Rhea at WrestleMania, which again Io Sky ends up winning the title, and held it all the way up until NXT Stand and Deliver, TakeOver Stand and Deliver, which had the largest card in NXT history. Never seen anything like it. But this time, history is going to repeat itself, and I have no doubt in my mind that Io Sky is going to be a very, very dominant champion. And this match definitely should take place. Will it happen? Will these matches come to pass at Payback? Only time will tell. But that will do it for this week's episode of WWE's Biggest Issue. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. If you did, make sure you guys smash that thumbs up button. If you guys are new to the channel and you guys want more episodes of WWE's Biggest Issue in the future, make sure you guys subscribe to the channel, turn on the notification bell, and follow me on all of my social media. My ads will be in the description below, as will the info to my fan mail. It will also be in the description as well. And on that, this is your boy Nash, signing out.